Good day. Today I want to share an exciting message from Isaiah 6, and I trust it's going to bring some of you hope and some of you prophetic vision and insight in terms of where you are and what the Lord is calling you to in this season. Isaiah 6 is a very special passage in the Bible because it's the passage where Isaiah takes up his calling. It starts off with in the year that King Uzziah died. I saw the Lord sitting on the throne. So Isaiah starts with a revelation of who God is. He then sees a picture of the Lord. The angels singing, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory." And then it continues, and Isaiah says, "Woe is me, for I am undone, because I'm a man of unclean lips." Almost a prophetic picture of what the New Testament experience of being reborn was like. It goes on, and in the story in Isaiah 6 verse 8, after this experience of Isaiah hears the Lord asking, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And Isaiah makes himself available, and he says, "Here I am, send me." And then what is very interesting is God gives Isaiah a very, very difficult calling. He says, "Go and tell this people, keep on hearing, but do not understand. Keep on seeing, but do not perceive. Make the heart of this people dull, and their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and return and be healed." And then Isaiah asks a very, very important question. And he says, "Lord, how long?" in verse 11. And God answers and says, "Until the cities are laid waste and without inhabitant, the houses are without man, the land is utterly desolate. The Lord has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land." Now, I want to speak to some of you and say to you that it's time that you ask God, how long? Lord, how long? That's a very, very important question, because I want you to see that there was an end to this calling of Isaiah. Isaiah was prophetically called by the Lord to prophesy to the people of Israel. But there came an end date. That end date was the first exile. And Isaiah's job was done even before that first exile. But that was the prophetic vision that Isaiah needed to have. To see in the spirit it through until the people, the very last man that needed to go into exile went and actually was taken away out of Israel. And what's important here, again, is this question, how long? Because some of you have been faithful to what the Lord has called you to do. Some of you have reached that end state, and it's time to let go of where God has, what God has called you to in this moment, and embrace the new thing that is starting. A very, very important thing happens in verse 13. God says to Isaiah, "But yet a tenth will be in it, and will return and be for consuming, as a terebinth tree or as an oak, whose stump remains when it is cut down. So the holy seed shall be its stump." I want you to see the beautiful picture here. God says to Isaiah, if you do your job well, there will be a holy seed that remains. And that seed is going to bring forth what I have called it to bring forth. It will be a holy seed. And some of you have been faithful to what God has called you to do. And there is holy seed in the ground. And it's time to accept that you are done. And it's time to trust God that there's holy seed. And in this special time of change in the world, the Lord's closing certain doors and He's opening new doors. And I want those of you to whom this message speaks, those of you that have been faithful in the Spirit with the calling that God has called you to hear with your spirit and embrace it with your spirit, that the door might have closed, but it's a good thing because you've been faithful and there's holy seed in the ground. And it's time to trust the Lord for something new that's going to break through because you've been faithful. I pray this message blesses you, and God bless you in this beautiful time of intimacy with Him, where He is calling His children closer to Him and to hear His voice. I bless you in the name of Jesus.